Hey guys, welcome back to CALLOUS Draft League Week 2. We have the purple team and the orange team here. This is, of course, part of the draft that we already covered. You've already seen both other matches in this particular draft play out, so this is going to wrap up that particular matchup. We've got Joefish on the purple team, who I have never heard of prior to this tour. And likewise, we have ALargeMongoose, who is playing on the classy alt Organic, which is, of course, with a W, so Organic. And he is also someone I haven't heard of prior to the tour. So I have no clue who's better here or how it's going to go, but let's find out together. Here is their match. Joefish is on the bottom with a lead Doug trio. I wish I remembered their draft a little bit better to remember what he would be hoping to trap with that, but evidently not the Metagross and certainly not the Porygon 2 that switches in. CM comes down. Thunderbolt does 30%, which is like okay, but there's another CM. Oh, okay. The tables have turned. How about a Psych up there? I don't know if that is specifically aimed at the Slowbro or what, but I highly doubt Joefish was expecting or going to play around that. And who can blame him? I sure wouldn't have played around Psych up there. Ice Beam, though, not Thunderbolt. So it's interesting. He's playing instead of the damage blow for blow game or for a crit. He's instead playing for a freeze. I'd be Thunderbolting if I were ALargeMongoose, but he sees it differently. He's going to fish for the 10% freeze, which, to be fair, is more mathematically likely than a crit, but nevertheless, I would be Thunderbolting. See? Do you see how much more damage that did? Fuck Ice Beam. Click T-Bolt, baby. Here comes 4E, and it's going to be staring down a double-boosted full health Porygon 2, but 4E is pretty good at taking hits that it isn't weak to. Took that Thunderbolt like a champ, that one as well. Gets Alaris spikes down, and it got Toxic on P2. Certainly won't survive another Thunderbolt. T-Tar comes in. It would have been interesting there if Joefish had gone back to Doug Trio, which is terrible if he Ice Beams, but would have been good to come in on a Thunderbolt, which is what would have happened. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. What we have instead is T-Tar Dragon Dancing up to +1. And Rock Slide will be good enough, combined with all that other toxic damage that it took. Leaves us in a 6-5 with Joefish up him on and with a spike, but he's outsped and revenge killed. So it is now 5-5, keeping in mind that the Slowbro could be healthier at just 26%, and the 4E's pretty low as well. So even though it's, quote, 5-5, some of the stuff for Joe is pretty banged up at the moment. And Sceptile with Crunch is going to be real obnoxious for Gengar. They both hit each other pretty hard, but crucially, Sceptile faster here. Hidden Power, Fire and or Ice, and Hidden Power, well, probably Fire and or Ice, comes back. Venusaur lives to tell the tale. Leaves us in a 5-4 and a spike, so in theory, Joe should be winning, but I don't know that he actually is. A lot of his stuff is in pretty rough shape, and the Blaziken substitutes here. So he's going to kill a poke while still behind a sub. That can pretty quickly get out of control. Gengar needs to at least pop the sub here, which it does manage to do via T-Bolt. Fire Blast, I guess, could have missed there, but it didn't. And Doug Trio should be able to get the revenge. There's no way that a Salix set would do anything here, of course, because we know there's a T-Tar in this game with the sand. So it brings us to a 3-3. My Milotic shown for the first time. Non-CB Doug Trio, as it turns out, gets a Toxic on Milo on the way out. Now Venu comes in. Maybe can outspeed and click Giga Drain here. The sand says the Venusaur is indeed faster, and it does indeed have Giga Drain. However, Milotic has Mirror Coat, and that should just about wrap it up. I don't know how 4E could win this game. It will survive Surf, so there's that. But Meta should be able to click Earthquake or any number of things, and that's all to say nothing of the final poke in the back. Hidden Power Fire will certainly do it without even showing that last poke. And it is going to be the W for Organic. Not to be confused with Organic, but Organic. Do you get it, guys? It's a pun. Organic. That's ALargeMongoose taking it down over Joefish. Getting a point for the Orange Boys. And that's it. That is the third match of that particular draft. There were 3 team drafts per team, so this is obviously not a representation of the totality of the week, but purple and orange on the scoreboard have been two of the stronger teams thus far, and this was obviously an important match. I'm looking forward to seeing how they play out for the rest of the tour, but for now, that is the end of purple and orange in week 2. There are just 2 more games to go this week. You know where you'll find them. If you enjoy them, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.